is up, guys? It is your girl LH Loaded, and I'm finally back with another video. So first things first, I do want to say thank you guys to getting me to 50 subs. If you're new, welcome in. My name is Latiera. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you tapping back in with me. So from here on out, I will be posting weekly. I'm excited for that because as you guys can tell and as you guys know, I am not a professional. So you guys are going to be taking this journey with me as a team, and I'm excited for that. So in today's video, I think I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to try to do some gun shopping, see what else I like. I'm especially looking for a pistol just because I do want to add a second gun to my CCW, but I don't want to just buy anything, you know. I want to get educated on the pistol, maybe even shoot it before I do make a purchase. But let's get this day going. Let's go. I just got to Turner's. Hopefully they do let me record, but in California they be tripping, so I'm gonna try to get as much footage for you guys if I can. But let's get it. So obviously at Turner's I wasn't able to record, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to this other gun store. I believe it's family owned, so hopefully everything is good there and we'll see what's going on. Okay.
This one, just the top right there, you're in.
Robin?
Cash or card?
Cash. Cash money, baby.
Here you go. This is a brain.
All right.
Okay, the total will be $1,000. And just double checking with you, the address controls to.
Yeah, we're trying to find it. Give me 1 second. Did you provide us or did?
So we secured the AK-47. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so made sure to secure that. I've shot an AK before, but you know, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just get my own, just practice on that, and then after I'll get another CCW, like a pistol, obviously. But let's get it going. Let's go. All right, so now that I'm finally at my house, it's been not really a long day, but I feel like it's just the heat that's making it extra long. But anyways, so I'm gonna explain to you guys how to purchase a firearm in California in 2024, most recent. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure you have an ID or a driver's license. Okay, so either one you have, if you have an ID or a driver's license that says federal limits apply, you're gonna have to take more documentation just because it's not a real California ID. So if you do have the ID or a driver's license that says federal limits apply, you're gonna have to back it up with more documentation. So you can either take a passport or a birth certificate if you do have the one that says federal limits apply. So when you do that, it's gonna, it kind of, they just want to make sure everything is matching up and all the documents are true to what you're showing them, basically. But if you do have a California driver's license, it will have the California Bear. I think it's at the top right corner of the ID, if I'm not mistaken. But I will put another picture just so you guys know what I'm talking about and so we're on the same page. So, if you do have the real ID, you want to make sure your address is up to date, most current address where you reside, and everything of that sort. So, first things first, to purchase, you have to be 21 years old to purchase any type of firearms. I believe, if I'm not, and if you guys know, please correct me in the comments. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they changed the law. I want to say 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Because before, you're able to be 18 years old and buy a rifle or like any long gun, but you still have to be 21 to buy a handgun. But now, as of recently, they're having it where to purchase any long gun, rifle, anything like that, you have to be 21 years old. First things first. And then step 2. So what you want to do is go to any gun store where you reside at or in your state, and go to the gun store and ask if you can take a FSC test. And what a FSC test is, you're taking a firearm safety, not a course, but the FSC is a firearm safety certificate. So basically what they're going to do, they're going to test you to see if they know, if you know, the basic knowledge, the basic questions that anyone should know, right? So they're going to ask you, for instance, okay, if you live in an apartment, like, would you carry the gun? Would you face it up, down? It's like, it sounds a little much, but I promise you, it's so self-explanatory. It's so easy. So when you take that test, it's about, depending on where you're at, but I'm pretty sure anywhere in California, it's like $25 to $30 at most. So when you take that test, they're gonna give you a paper, like a pencil, whatever, and it's gonna be multiple choice. So to pass that test, there's 25 questions and you can only get 7 wrong. So that's bringing you to a 75%, right? So you're going to take that test, you pass it. Okay, cool. You passed it, So they're going to provide you with a FSC card. They're going to print it out, laminate it, and you're good to go, basically. So the next step is step 3. So once you get your FSC card, everything is cool. You're going to go, when you go purchase your gun, they're going to ask you, okay, if you have a driver's license or ID that says federal limits apply, they're going to be like, okay, do you have a birth certificate, passport? So you're going to provide them with that. So then after that, what they're going to do is ask you for 2 proofs of residency. It can be car registration, Wi-Fi bill, a CCW permit if you do have one. What else? I believe a fishing and hunting license. They'll take that too, which is really cool. I did not know that. I recently got educated on that, but they're gonna ask you for that. So you're gonna give them the 2 proofs. They might ask you for 3. That's why before I had my CCW, and I would always take my birth certificate because I didn't have a real ID, I would always take like car registration, Wi-Fi, and electricity. 3, they say 2, but 3 just to be like 100% safe, so you don't have to like backtrack, go home, like, oh, I forgot this, So then after that, they're gonna ask you to fill out, once you do pick out your gun, they're gonna give you a paper. As a matter of fact, they're gonna give you a paper. You're gonna write down your first name, last name, date of birth, social security, and it's gonna be like a little questionnaire. So it's not the FSC test, you already took that, but to purchase the gun, they're asking you about your background, basically. So one of the questions are you a convicted felon? Have you been convicted of like domestic violence? Are you addicted to marijuana or any drugs, anything like that? Have you ever been honorably discharged from the military? They want to know. And when you do get that paper, it's like a yes or no box. So you're gonna click. You're gonna mark off either yes, no, so on and so forth. So then after, when you do the paperwork to get the firearm, what they're gonna do is, okay, they're gonna take everything you have written down on the paper, whether it's yes, no, yes. So after that, you're gonna wait a 10-day grace period, and in that 10 days, they're gonna run your background to make sure everything is okay, right? So once they run your background, everything is cool. They usually, for sure, what they usually do is once they're running your background, they give you a paper of the printout, the gun, make, model, all your information, and they give you a date. Like, okay, this date is the latest date you can pick it up, and this date is the earliest you can pick it up. So obviously you want to head towards, the earliest date, because if you wait till the latest date, they might charge you a restocking fee just to put the gun back on the shelf, which makes sense though, because at the end of the day, we as gun owners, gun purchasers, they basically, the serial number that's on the gun, they're putting it under our name. So it's understandable why they have to do a restocking fee. And for the longest, I thought that was kind of like pointless, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. You know, they have to change the serial number back to, you know, a non-owner, and then, you know, it's kind of a lot of things to do. So then after that, you go pick up your gun, you're good to go. And then same thing, if you're gonna buy ammo, if you have a real ID, that's why it's strict. Like I'm super heavy on getting a real ID, because it just makes it so much easier. Because I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't carry my birth certificate. So instead of me being out somewhere and like, oh, I want to buy a new gun, I have to go home, get my birth certificate. It just makes it so much easier if you have that real ID. So if you have your real ID passport, real ID and CCW, it just makes the process so much easier. So then after that, like I said, you go pick up everything, and everything is just good to go. But you want to make sure before I tell you guys to buy a gun, or if you guys are just watching this because you've been wanting to buy a gun, the first thing I would focus on is the real ID. Because if you have the real ID, you don't have to go with like getting a passport, your birth certificate. It's just like a lot, you know. And as a regular person, like, we just carry our IDs. We don't really carry, I mean, a lot of people do carry their passports, don't get me wrong, you know, but to have your passport, birth certificate, it's just better. It's so much easier and simplified if you guys do have the real ID, and it's just as easy as that. So once you have everything intact, you have your proof of residency, your real ID, even if it's, like I'm saying, it's not bad, or you're not going to get unapproved because you don't have a real ID. If you have the federal limits, that's fine, but you would just have to take more precaution and provide them with more documentation, like I said, such as your passport, birth certificate. Every time, I personally don't have a passport, so before I got my real ID, I was bringing my federal limits ID, and then bringing my birth certificate all the time, you know. And it just made it so much easier when I got my real ID, because I'm like, dang, like, if I really wanted to wake up one day like, oh, I want to go buy a gun, I don't have to be like, damn, like, I have to go home, backtrack. It's just, everything is so much more convenient. But if you guys do have any questions, and if you guys can let me know if you're educated on when they stopped, when they changed the law from it being 21, or I'm sorry, from it being 18 to carry a long rifle. If you guys can let me know, because I thought it was like 2.5 years ago. But if you guys please let me know in the comments below, I will really appreciate it, just so I'm educated on that as well. But if you guys have any questions, tap in with me. I appreciate all my subscribers, the support. And like I said, since I hit 50 subscribers, I will be posting content weekly. I haven't really thought about what days I'm going to post, but when I do, I will keep you guys posted for sure. But like I said, I'm happy you guys are going on this journey with me, because I'm not a professional. As you guys can see, I need a lot of work. So I'm glad to take you guys on this journey with me. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome in. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys giving me the time of day. And let's just get this journey going. I don't know what more can I say. You guys have a good one. Tap in.